This is a very quick tutorial on Revit structure. So if you got the same project like me, when you open that up, you're going to see an architectural design here. And if you go onto the project browser, you're going to see there are actually some structural plans already there. But when you click on them, you can see there are just there aren't any structural parts in there. They're just the architectural part that's plotted here. So the first thing we need to add, you can see we have entry and roof, but we don't have foundation and lower level. So the first thing we're going to add those. We're going to view plan views, structural plan. We're going to add foundation, and again structural plan. We're going to add a lower level. So for simplicity reasons, we're going to focus on the foundation level and do some structural designing and draw something on this plan. We're majorly going to focus on columns, beams, beam systems, and foundations. So let's get started. First of all, we're going to need a grid to help us to put things in position. So now we come to structure and click on grid. So now you can use the mouse to draw a line as a reference line. Let's say I want to have 5 of them. And now you can see 1 through 4, they are kind of random. So if I want to make them an equal space, you can just go to annotate the line and just have the distance between them and just click on the equal button. It's gonna make them equal distance. This is helpful if you say you have a equal distance column or beam system. So let's add the other lines. See, it is still number based here. We're going to change that into characters. So I just change that to A, and you can see it's going to be automatically be the next character. So let's say I want 4 of them. Oh no, 6 of them, sorry. So we can do the same from A to E. Just gonna go to annotate line and select all of the lines here and gonna make them equal spaced. Now we have the grids. Okay, let's get some columns, add some columns into the plan. Now we can go to structure and column, click on column. You can see here you can choose from columns that you had. I'm just gonna go with these 10 by 49. So one way I can add it, another thing, you can change 2 parameters here. One of them is height or depth. The other is like whichever level you want to go to. So I'm going to choose height and I'm going to choose lower level. That means this column is going to go from the foundation level to the lower level. So let's say I'm adding this column here. you can see it's been added there, and this is one way to do it. Of course, it's you can add them one by one by clicking on the intersections, but it's just too slow. And there's another way of adding them on a grid. You can just click on column, and then you come here, you say add grids, and then you choose the grid you want, and you click finish. Now you can see all the columns are added, and then if there are some ones you don't want like this, so you can just delete it. So let's see what does it look like in the 3D view. Now it is a realistic view, so we cannot see the columns, so we can change that here into a let's say a wireframe. Okay, now if we zoom in, we can see there are columns that we just added from the foundation level to the lower level. So but this is also a little bit hard to see, because there are so many things going on, and you can find out where is my columns that I just added. So there's another way that you can see it a little bit more clear. Let's go to the foundation plan here, and we can click on view, and there's a section button. Now you just draw a section line here. You can see there is a box drew on the plan, and there is an arrow here. This is the direction that your section is going to be looking toward, and this box is how much you're going to see in this section. So let's say I don't want to see that much, I just want to see this much. I'm going to change that. After that, you just double click on the arrow, and you'll be taken into the elevation view, where you can see the columns that you just added. Go find. So now you can see these are the columns that we just added. Okay, go back to foundations. Now we have columns. You can do beams to connect them. Of course, we go to structure again, and here we select beam. Again, you can choose from whatever you have there. Just choose this, and once again, I can just draw from the center to the center, and it's going to be there. First you have to choose which level you want them to be on. So I want them to be on the lower level. So I just added a beam there. So we can go to the 3D view, and if we go to the right section, we can see the beam has just been added here. You can see it. It's there. So again, this is not a very efficient way, and as you can guess, there are better ways to add beams. So one way is very similar to the columns. You just select beams and you go on grids. So now you select all the grids and click finish. It's going to take a while. Sorry, I just add all of those onto the foundation level. I meant to add them on the lower level. So we'll do that again. Select all of them and click on finish. It is saying it's not visible on this structural plan. So let's go to see the 3D view. Now you can see there all the beams are being added there. There are horizontal ones and vertical ones. So looks good. We can also go see the views here. You can see the beams you've just added. They're in the wall, and there are some other ones that you cannot really see them, but they're there. Okay, so there are times that we need to add beam systems into this rectangle here. Let's say I want to add a beam system just in this section. I'm going to select boundary line, and I'm going to draw the line here. Just be careful, you have to draw it to be a closed geometry, so that the Revit knows how to put the beams inside it. So you can now see the line here. These are actually the direction of the beam systems. And if you click on finish, and let's go back to the 3D view, and as you can see there, we've already added a beam system, which is only one, and only one beam here. So let's go back and change it a little bit. Now let's say I'm adding a beam system. So let's say I'm adding a beam system, and I want it to be equal. I want it to be fixed number. I want it to be like 3, let's say. And now let's draw the boundaries again. Close it and click on finish. 3D view again. Let's see the effect. Now you can see there are three. You can see there are 3 beam that were being added into this beam system. So this is a very efficient way of adding beams. If you know what you're doing, I mean, you can make them fixed number, or fixed distance, whatever you want. So this is how you add beam system. Let's see what other we can do. Yeah, we can also add foundations in a structural plan. So let's say I want to add an isolated foundation. It's saying I don't have a structural foundation family loaded in the project. So this is going to happen if you have a newly installed Revit or anything like that, or you don't have any families loaded into the software or the project. So now I'm just going to click on yes and load the family. I already have a family here, so I'm going to do open. It's saying, because it's from the previous version of Revit, so it's going to take a while for them to just transfer that to Revit 2015, which is what I'm using. So let's say I'm adding this foundation here. As you can see, it's a little bit big for this structural plan, so I'm just gonna click on that, and I'm gonna do edit. So I think 1 is a large number. Let's say I want to do maybe 40. So I can do duplicate and give it a different name. Maybe 40 by 40 by 20. So I click on OK, and I go here and change that. Just gonna do 40, and 20. Okay. Now I click on OK. So as you can see, it's a new foundation that I just created, and it has the same other properties except for the size. So I'm gonna put it there, and let's see what does it look like. What does it look like in the 3D view? So you can see, since we've actually already have a floor or a pad here for the foundation, but if you have the columns and a isolated pad here, you can always have a isolated foundation. So this is just a different way of creating a foundation. You can also use the @grid method to put foundations under all of those, and you can add beam. This time you can actually add concrete beams to connect those foundations. Okay, so let's go back here. So the way that I've been showing you guys is, you have a architectural plan here, and you are just adding those things onto this architectural plan. But for the most industrial practice, you're gonna have to work in teams, and maybe there is a, let's say, architectural team and a structural team, maybe an MEP team. So if you're working on structural plans, you may have to do develop it on your own, and then when the architectural plans are done, you can just link them together. So there's a function here that you can link a structural plan to a architectural plan. So just for a demonstration, I'm gonna save it first, and here I'm gonna open a different project. This is the sample project. Wait a minute, it's going to take a minute to load up. This is the sample project that Revit comes with in Revit 2015. You can see this is a architectural design. You can see by the name, Revit architectural then sample project. You can just search this, and it doesn't have any structural components in here. So, but they also have a structural design ready for this exact same building. So I'm just gonna link them together. I'm gonna go to Insert, a link to Revit. I'm gonna have to find that. Autodesk, maybe samples. Yep. So Revit structure. You can see it right here. It's a structural plan, and I click on Open. It's going to take a while for it to add that onto the architectural plan. So now you can see all the structural components are added onto this building, and they are already linked together for your use. Wait a minute. Oh, there's a problem. As you can see, it's been misplaced. So what we can do is we can hit Control Z and unlink it and relink it again. The problem here is that I have to select a different positioning here. So I was doing a center to center, so the automatic method there is going to put the center of the drawing onto this architecture drawing. So that is not what I want. So I'm going to do origin to origin. And when I do that, it's going to reload. And now we're good. Okay, let's see. There are some, yeah, you can see there are foundations here, and these are the structural components. There are structural components inside the building now. So if you're working on different teams, this is the way you can just link the Revit files together by click on Insert and Link Revit. Okay, I think that is it. Thanks.